was like, I gotta be pregnant. I have goosebumps all over me. And then the next day I didn't have anything. No champagne. No. I don't miss any of that because apparently I don't know anything. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by and viewing my journey through pregnancy. By the time you watch this, I am 20 weeks pregnant. You can't see anything, but it's there. I promise it's there. So today I just want to go ahead and share my first trimester with you. Everything and anything from symptoms to the tips that I have, as well as how we got pregnant. So let's get started. So how we got pregnant. Oh my gosh, I feel like this should be a video in its own, in itself. My husband and I got married in 2018. We have known each other since high school, but did not date since high school. We reconnected about 10 years later and then began dating again and got married, knew we wanted children. And so 2 years after we got married, so January of 2020, I stopped all birth control pills. I've been taking birth control pills since I was 21, and I pretty much had it fairly well. Like, I feel like the birth control really controlled my period, and there were times where I didn't even have it, and I thought that was wonderful, which turned out to be it's kind of not good for your body. And when I moved back to New York in 2014, I began working at a very stressful job in 2016 actually, and that's when I noticed, even taking birth control pills, that my periods were horrendous. Like, I really thought that I had endometriosis. It was so bad. So bad to the point that I would have to leave work and go home and just lay down for a day because the pain was unbearable. I always had to take something. I was bleeding very, very heavy, and it was just, I hated it. I was like, I'm over it. I need to stop birth control at some point. And then I started to read a little bit more about periods and about getting pregnant. My sister introduced me, this is not sponsored, to the Woman Code. So this book, it says perfect your cycle, amplify your fertility, supercharge your sex drive, and become power source, which is what we women are, right? I was like, I need help because these birth control pills are driving me crazy. And it turns out that it was the stress plus whatever I was eating. Now in 2016, I had just finished a fitness competition in July, and then I began my very stressful job. So it began from there all the way into 2018. So there were months here and there, all through 2019 as well. And I was just excited to honestly just get off of these birth control pills and, you know, start making some babies, because I felt like that had to be it. But even on my birth control pills, doing this, they call it cycling, I guess. Is it cycling? I think it's cycling. Cycling, pretty much cycling your period. My hormones were so much better, and I just felt like I was so much more in tune with my body, and I was preparing my body to get off of birth control. And so a couple of things that they recommend in the book are the way that you eat, resting on your period, because if you are or were a fitness freak like I was, or like I am, because I just love to work out, period. But even on my period, I would be like, I'm gonna go hard. This is it. We're gonna do it. And I realized that I should be resting the first or the second day of my period. And that was okay for my body. I gave myself some grace, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna work out on the first day of my period. If I feel good, I will do it. I'll do something light. If I want to do some cardio, or even if I want to do weights, I'll do some weights. But I realized that it wasn't doing good for my body. And the way I was eating and the stress was not helping. And so I started meditating, I started reading a lot more, and that just overall helped me get off of birth control. By the time I got off of birth control, a couple of symptoms that I had getting off, I realized that I did get a little bit more acne. My face has been glowing lately because of pregnancy. Thank you so much, baby. Thank you. But I did start to get acne. My hormonal acne over here went away, thank God. And then I pretty much felt like I was very much in tune with my body, with my mind. So by the time 2019, 2020 came around, I just felt like I knew when my period was coming. I knew why it was late. I knew why it was not. And the cramps were like slim to none almost. I mean, I had a couple of, on a level out of 10, I would say maybe 6 or 7. You know, during the stress cycle, the times I was stressed, I was at like an 11 in pain. It was so bad. Bleeding also subsided a little bit, so I was very happy about that. I just felt like myself. I felt like a woman. I felt like I didn't have to go and rush. My body was created to make a baby. My body was created to have my period. My body was created to do all of these things, and not in a crazy way. This may be different for other people, and that's fine. You do what you gotta do, girl. That's just the way I felt, and it felt great and beautiful, and I felt very like natural just coming off of birth control, and after so many years. So 2020, I got off of birth control in January, and so my husband and I decided that we would just do it. We would just have fun. You know, if a baby came along, then a baby came along. We weren't like really worried or like really going crazy trying. And then October rolled around of 2020, and we were kind of questioning, and we were like, like, have we gotten pregnant? Have we not? I mean, wow. We were questioning, are we gonna get pregnant? Or can we get pregnant? Or can we not, is what I meant to say. And so I started to track my ovulation, and we did it once. We bought an ovulation kit. We tracked my ovulation, and we tried to do the things that we had to do during that time. The next month rolled around, and we were not successful. And so I began questioning. I mean, mind you, this was only 1 month. I just began to question, am I fertile? I know that family members have had trouble in the past, and so I just wanted to make sure that I was okay in terms of having a baby. And so we just kept trying on the days that I was ovulating, and yeah, if it happened, it happened again. If it didn't, it didn't. But I felt like every month I was kind of like, oh my gosh, if we conceive this month, the baby's gonna be born on that month. If we conceive this month, the baby's gonna be born on that month, and they're gonna be a Leo or a Cancer or a Sagittarius, whatever. After we moved to North Carolina, I was kind of over it, to be honest with you. I was just done trying, and I was done not trying to have a baby, but I was done guessing. I was done really overthinking it and really trying to guess when the baby would be born, kind of thing. I knew that after 6 months or so, if nothing happened, then I would see the doctor to see if there was anything wrong down there with me, or anything wrong with my husband. Then in January, I just let it go, and I gave it to God, and I said, you know what? I'm done guessing. We're gonna do what we have to do when we have to do it, and if nothing happens, we'll go to the doctor, etc. And boom, I got pregnant. I don't know, it just happened. Mind you, we were still following the app. So this book, they do have an app. I think it's called Flow. There's 2 flows. So this is just FLO. Flow Living, FLO. Yeah, I believe there's another one. So it's not that one. It's a little purple one. And so I was still tracking. And I think that week, I was like, all right, we gotta do this. I think I was like really on it that week, and I was like, all right, let's go. So from there, baby was conceived. We did not know. I did have a drink or two the first week or two, I believe, because I didn't know I was pregnant. And so the following week, I was supposed to get my period, and my family was supposed to come here. At that time, my little sister, myself, and my best friend were on kind of like the same cycle. And so I kept sharing, like, I don't know if I'm getting my period or not. Like, I feel symptoms, but I'm not sure. And I had a little bit of I've been late before. And so this time I was late, except I spotted. And the spotting was dark. And then the next day I didn't have anything. So the next day I'm like, I have a couple of notes here because of course I forget everything. But the next day I had nausea and I had a stomach ache and my breast started hurting. Down here, I also have heartburn and constipation and feeling like I had a hemorrhoid or something. Oh, girl, no. I don't miss any of that. But it was very weird. And then I remember also feeling like I was getting sick. And so that day I was supposed to clean, and I just ended up not cleaning anything. I felt like I almost had like an internal fever. I don't know, it was weird. I just felt off. I was just off, something was off, don't know what. I woke up the next day and it's as if nothing was going on, like nothing at all. My family came that week. My mother said she knew I was pregnant. She was like, you gotta be pregnant. I have goosebumps all over me. And I was like, oh my goodness, this lady has goosebumps. So that must mean I'm pregnant. Like, you know, when your mom says, I have goosebumps, or I had a dream or something, like, you know that it's happening. So that week, I definitely started having a lot of breast tenderness, a lot of bloating, and then I also felt like I couldn't breathe. Apparently, these are some of the symptoms that you get during your first trimester. But there was one point where I was really like, I really can't breathe. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It was pretty bad. As time went on, two of my main symptoms were definitely breast tenderness and bloating. I was bloated. If you watch my first prenatal appointment video, you will see that my stomach, it's probably the size that it's now. It was huge. Like, I couldn't suck it in. I couldn't do anything. It was just like there, you know, like I was like, is this how big the baby is right now? Because apparently I don't know anything. But yeah, a couple of other things. I definitely also had frequent urination. And as the days went by, after that spotting, my symptoms did subside just a little bit, but the breast tenderness was, I have never ever in my life felt my breast hurt so bad, to the point where I was telling my husband, I was like, do not touch me. Do not touch me. If you touch me, I'm gonna chop your hand off. It was so bad, you guys. And I'm curious if a lot of women have this breast tenderness. It was so bad, like I couldn't touch anything up here. I was like, no, don't touch me. Don't even look at them. Don't even look at them. So yeah, so then that led us to, I believe I had a couple of pregnancy tests here. And so I took those. And then that Saturday, we went to Target, or was it Saturday? I think it was Saturday. Well, Saturday we found out we were pregnant with the line tests. And then we went Saturday to Target to get the tests that say pregnant on them. We found out we were pregnant. We went for a run. We went to Target. We ran some errands. And the next day we found out that we were actually pregnant, and I had to know if I was pregnant or not because my best friend was coming, and I was like, girl, need some champagne. And then when I called her, I was like, no champagne. I was like, you're gonna have to get champagne for yourself, or I will have some champagne for you here. But yeah, no more champagne for me at that point. And of course we were sad, but we were also so happy at the same time. So the first trimester is from week 1 to the end of week 12, and which means right when week 13 starts. So let's just say week 13. And every week I just kept checking, okay, am I out of the first trimester yet? Am I out of the first trimester yet? Because I was just freaking out, as I'm sure many women are, about miscarriage. And again, like I said before, some of the women in my family, there's a history of miscarriages, and so I was just freaking out. I was like, when is it gonna be over? Am I done yet? What's going on? Please tell me I'm at week 12 or week 13, which begins the second trimester. So the first thing I did was definitely make a doctor's appointment. Made my doctor's appointment. I'm not sure if it's a new thing. I believe because of COVID, appointments are done a little bit later now. And so this appointment was done for 8 weeks. And I have a picture right here of baby. So this is our 8-week appointment. 8 weeks and 2 days, and hubby 6 days, 8 weeks and 6 days. And so it was almost 9 weeks. Of course, hubby came with us. Many hospitals are very different, or clinics are very different. This one allowed 1 visitor. So I was very happy. I really loved the ultrasound lady. Had the ultrasound. We then sat down for a genetic counseling, like really quick, just to explain what that was. Make sure that I, as a woman, am okay and in a healthy relationship with my husband. And then they did kind of like a pap smear and blood work. So that, if you watch my prenatal appointment, first prenatal appointment, that should be in there as well. So another thing I did was that I made another appointment at a different provider because I wanted to see the difference in the providers and in the hospitals. I really liked one hospital over the other, and I was not aware that you have to do like all this research on which hospital and you want to give birth at, and what percentage of doctors deliver vaginally versus C-section. Like, these were all questions that we were asking, and I was amazed by the amount of things that you have to know. But yeah, so I made an appointment at this other provider. Ultrasound was not great. The ultrasound technician was not great. I got to see baby, but I think baby also knew that this ultrasound technician was, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was early in the morning. I don't know what was going on, but the baby would not show its face. And so the baby, if you see down here, it's the head and the shoulders and then the little body there. So it was kind of like pointing this way. He or she was facing like my back at that point. And I was like, you don't even want to talk to the ultrasound technician right now. And neither do I, frankly. So I think he or she felt like how I felt. The entire appointment was just not good. They had to stick me 2 times. The doctor was great. Everything else was not. And I was so upset. I just came home, and if you're currently pregnant, your hormones, like, I thought I was a sensitive person. Those hormones, I was crying literally all day long because of that one appointment, and other things that happened. So definitely one advice I would give in your first trimester is to definitely ask what the baby's heart rate is. This technician did not give any information, which in my first appointment, they were very thorough with everything, and I was very, very happy with that. But she did not say anything. and I was freaking out. As my first appointment at a new provider, I feel like you should be able to give a little bit more information. And so look up those questions to ask. A couple of things, yes, the percentage of C-section that the doctor has, C-sections, or if they're supportive of vaginal deliveries, the baby's heartbeat per minute. I mean, you can even ask how the baby was doing. Even if the technician does not answer you, the doctor should be able to give you a rundown of what was seen. I feel like this video is very long. So a couple of my symptoms, thankfully, did not have very bad nausea, and I am praying for those women that do. I'm sure it is not fun at all whatsoever. The only nausea that I had experienced was when I got really hungry. I believe it was 2 or 3 times I felt like a slight nausea, and it was later on in the day. It was actually not even in the morning. They recommend that you eat whatever you can get down, because at this point you're eating to survive. And if you can't put down chicken and only crackers, then eat those crackers. Another symptom I had, which was probably my biggest symptom, was fatigue. And thank God for working from home, because I was able to take my lunchtime and take a little nap during the day. And then I believe at like 5 o'clock, I would take another nap before my husband would come home. I was so tired, so tired. I couldn't believe how tired I was. On top of, it was probably also working out, plus everything that was going on in my body, but I needed a nap almost every day, I believe. And so the fatigue is real. I also noticed some constipation when I did not eat well. I have had stomach issues in the past, but this was like no constipation I have ever experienced. So much so that my best friend had to go and get me a stool softener, which is super embarrassing to mention here, but it's pregnancy. What do you want me to do? As for cravings, I was only really craving fruit. I haven't changed much being pregnant. I've continued my workouts and I've continued to eat healthy. That's all I've really done. And so my cravings haven't been crazy. I will share a little bit more about my second trimester in another video once my second trimester is done, which is in another 6 weeks. But second trimester is completely different than the first trimester. 2 other things, or maybe 3 other things that happened. I did begin to have weird and very vivid dreams. Another thing was lightning crotch, which I thought you only got it at the end of your pregnancy, but apparently I just had some stuff going on down there. I was like, I don't know what's going on. A little bit of that and a little bit of cramping. Nothing crazy, but it's the symptoms of your uterus expanding from what I read. So completely normal. Unless you have any vaginal bleeding or anything like that, then you should definitely call your doctor according to the things that I've read. Another change that I saw was an increase in discharge around weeks 10 through 11. And so that was also a completely different thing going on with my body. Although things seemed a little bit the same, they were also different, if that makes any sense. I don't even know if I'm making sense. So a couple of tips that I have for your first trimester are definitely, if you are nauseous and you need to eat something, eat whatever goes down. I know a lot of women also do like the ginger tea or the ginger drops. I heard that those work, but eat, continue doing whatever it was that you were doing before in terms of like exercising and eating healthy. Again, only if you can scarf down that food. Breathe, relax, and just know, you know, this baby is being taken care of. You're doing the best that you can to take care of it in this first trimester, and you can only do so much. So take care of yourself, take care of the baby, and try to relax. If you need to take a nap, take a nap. Continue to eat healthy, continue to take care of yourself. If you weren't taking care of yourself before pregnancy, take care of yourself now. Now, I do know that they recommend that you do not begin like full-blown CrossFit workout, but if you were previously walking or swimming or lifting some light weights, continue that. If you haven't been doing that before, then they suggest walking, light activity. You can even start some light weights, but don't go off to, you know, become a bodybuilder while you're pregnant, because your body's not used to it and you can hurt yourself. So definitely don't do that. Another advice is to definitely research questions before you go to your appointments. See what questions there are to ask your doctors. Ask away. They will not feel weird about it. They will answer all of your questions, hopefully if it's a good doctor, but they see so many pregnant women, and I'm sure they know how, you know, frightening this could be for us. And so getting those questions answered, looking up whatever it is that you're worried about. Find a support group. There's places online. You can go on Facebook even, and you can even I typed up Moms Due in October, and I was able to find a group. And so a lot of women share their stories on there, and it's a support group. You're not alone, because frankly, you're kind of, if none of your friends are pregnant, you're gonna feel a little bit alone. Or if there's no one that has been pregnant previously before you, you may feel like you're the only one in this right now. And so having that support group, I think, is very, very important. And then my last tip would be to get an app that will tell you how many weeks pregnant you are every week. Some apps are really cool, and they'll show you like the size of the baby and the size of the baby compared to a fruit or a vegetable or an animal. It's really cool to see every week. It's really cool to see what your body is going through, to see what baby is going through. And through there, you can also connect with different communities. And so I found that very helpful. I like to share every week with my sisters and my mother, like the baby is the size of a whatever, and with some of my friends as well. And so that's fun and that's exciting. And you can see when you reach different milestones. You can enter your doctor's appointments in there. You can enter like the last day of your period, so that when you go, or the first day of your last period, that way when you go to a doctor, it's in there and you have it. And just so many other fun facts and articles about pregnancy that just help support. I feel like, especially in the first trimester, you do feel, again, like I said before, kind of alone. And so looking for that support and reaching out and doing your research is definitely going to help. And the more we educate ourselves, the less fear we will have in terms of having a baby. And so this is a journey. Take it day by day and just educate yourself. And I hope that this video was helpful for you. If you have any questions at all whatsoever, please drop them down below. I will be sure to answer them. And if you need any support, please, again, just feel free to reach out. My Instagram handle is JennyFitAndFree. And so if you would like to follow me there, you can DM me in there as well. And yeah, let me know any questions, comments, whatever it is that you have. Please like and subscribe, and look out for some future videos coming up on this pregnancy journey. And thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.